What is up, guys? It's your boy LAJ back at it again with another video live. Man, it's been a minute, and these last 2 weeks have been wild. November has been wild, and we're barely on day 12. We're not even halfway through November, and it's been a crazy month. I don't know what's going on with the presidential election. I don't know who is the president, who's going to be the president, because a lot of BS is happening. But I'm just here to talk about sports because, yo, I don't have my Dodger hat yet with the championship logo hat yet. I've been waiting on that. A lot of people have been waiting on that as well. So I'm still waiting. But I don't know if you guys can see back there. I got my World Series pennant. I got that thing going. And, man, it looks... I mean, just look at it. Ain't it beautiful? Ain't it beautiful, you guys? A lot of people have been discounting the Dodgers championship because it was a shortened season. It's only not valid because your team didn't make it. But when your team was in the playoffs, Reds fans, Giants fans, Padre fans, when your team was in the playoffs, it made sense, right? And now, Padre fans, that you had Rookie of the Year awards, it counts, right? I mean, we Dodger fans were, I guess, in a sense, ignorant, dumb for celebrating the World Series, but you guys celebrated October. Actually, no, it was, September 14th? That little win you guys won on a Monday. The pimp show home run off Kershaw. You guys qualified for the playoffs, winning a wild card game, and you guys went out and celebrated on one block. But we Dodger fans are delusional for celebrating an entire World Series, and it doesn't count, an asterisk. Really? Whatever. 2020. And for this, especially the Celtics fans, a lot of salty Celtics fans out there that are not counting this, not validating this. Let me ask you guys this. Why do you consider Tim Duncan a 5-time champion when his first championship was in a 99 season that was a shortened season? Do you guys forget about 2011 as well? That season didn't start till when? December, Christmas Day? And the reason I remember was because Kobe Bryant and Derrick Rose were going at it. And Derrick Rose hit that little teardrop floater over Pau Gasol to win it. But it only doesn't count because it's the Lakers, right? That's the only time, because it's an LA team. Mookie Betts went on yesterday, Sportsnet LA. We were celebrating, had some players on there. They were celebrating. They were talking about all the joy that they celebrated and felt. And Mookie Betts said that he's never felt comfortable being outdoors, especially when he was in Boston. He didn't have to worry about rain. He could be outside in his pool, hanging out, and then drive down to the stadium, not having to worry about drastic weather. But again, only the ones that are hurt and can't catch up to the titles are the ones not counting these titles. But hey, we LA fans, we don't care. We're still champions, whether you like it or not. I mean, we hear it from Houston all the time. We hear from Astro fans all the time. Weep, cry, born, all that stuff. Whatever. Same thing to you guys. But these titles were not used off cheating. And honestly, this one, especially the Bubble Championship, was the most difficult championship to win in the history of basketball. Separated from their families, no fan bases. There was no, what was the purpose of being the first seed? There was whole home court advantage. There was no fans to interact and distract. So there was really nothing. Fans couldn't be there to celebrate. 3-4 months in a bubble to get a title. I can guarantee you every single player in that bubble, or every single basketball player, are actually counting this. The only ones that aren't are the salty, fans. Salty. But enough of that. I got some news for you guys. I have been included, and I'm honored to be part of this group. I have been added to the website, Dodger Lowdown. And I am happy to be part of this group. We're going to make this group a lot better, a lot fun, exciting. We're going to bring all that news and information to you guys. It's going to be so amazing. And you guys don't even know what we have in store for you guys. We're in the back, chatting it up, messaging, deciding what to do videos on, what to do articles on, what's breaking, what's rumored, all this stuff. We're just all over the place on this, and we're making sure that we're getting you guys all the best content. So make sure you guys follow Dodger Lowdown. I'm gonna be part of that. So you'll probably know when I'm busting an article out there, a video. You guys already know my character. You guys already know how I am. I'm real spirited out there, so you'll know. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be educational. It's gonna be everything you guys want and need. And when Dodger season comes around, you guys are going to be prepped and ready to take on 2021, because 2021, it's going to be a bigger season, and running it back is not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy because, again, we don't know if this pandemic's going to hit hard. We don't know if there's going to be fans in. Look at what happened with the World Series. Justin Turner took the blame for something that wasn't even his fault. Yeah, he shouldn't have been on the field, whatever. I'm not going to fault him for wanting to be on the field. Manfred took that away from him. Again, I question every single day, why were fans in a bubble? The purpose of a bubble is to separate the players from the fans and make sure that they're safe and they're properly taken care of so they don't get sick or get this COVID-19. Yet Manfred wanted fans. Great that the fans were there. Great that there was a couple of fans out there that saw the celebration, that experienced a World Series win, because 2017 we were robbed. But we had fans, and they, God bless them, booed Manfred. They booed the hell out of him, embarrassed him. Yes, he said it was mic troubles or whatever. And he was butthurt. You could see right in his face he was offended. He was butthurt. But, Justin Turner came out. He apologized in a note. And it is what it is. He didn't have to apologize. He did nothing wrong, because Max Muncy went on with David Vassay on AM 570, and he straight up said he doesn't understand why he's taking the brunt of the heat when there was MLB officials. This is his quote: MLB officials were out socializing and golfing. So why is Justin Turner getting the brunt of the blame? No one from the people that were at the stadium, people that went to the postseason, they weren't keeping distance. They weren't wearing their masks. You could see all those videos of all the fans celebrating at the stadium when they won. There weren't masks in the stands. They weren't wearing masks. People weren't socially distancing. You saw the parties outside the stadium with taco trucks. Nobody was socializing. I mean, no one was social distancing. I mean, bro, like they're trying to make Turner the scapegoat for some bullshit that Manfred created. And again, Manfred wants to get everything going again with a bubble and all these different things again for next year. He doesn't even know what to do, but he's expecting another bubble. And honestly, the only thing he needs to worry about is making sure that the Dodgers have a DH. Mainly because Justin Turner, and he said it out. Oh, he didn't say it out, actually. I wish he did. I was hoping he'd come out and say, hey, I'm signing a team-friendly deal to stay with the Dodgers. I mean, that would have been nice, but unfortunately he didn't. Not yet, at least, or maybe behind the scenes. Because if we all kind of recall in 2016 when both Kenley and Justin Turner were free agents, Justin Turner got the call at Kenley Jensen's wedding, and he said, hey, I just got the call, and they offered me a deal, and I'm coming back to LA. And that fired up Kenley. Kenley had a better deal with the Yankees. Kenley had a better deal, I think, with the Cubs as well. And that fired, Kenley straight up just said, you know what, I'm with you. Let's run it back. 2017 happened. It happened the way it happened, but again, Justin Turner is all heart. I'm hearing Giants want to swoop up and snatch up Justin Turner. Nah. He's going to bust Jackie Robinson and retire before he even considers the Giants. But let's look forward to 2021, shall we? Obviously, we have Mookie Betts. We're going to have him for now. His contract starts. That 12-year contract, now it starts. This was just a preview. He came in second to Freddie Freeman in the National League MVP. So kudos, congratulations to Freddie Freeman. He did work. He did deservedly so. Regular season MVP. Congratulations. You did your thing. I'm happy for you. Yeah, you did great. No shade, nothing. Real talk. Freddie Freeman, you're a player. You're legit. And congratulations to you. congratulations to Freddie Freeman for being the MVP, deservedly so. Mookie Betts, though, Gold Glove. I'm not sure if the Silver Slugger is going to kick in, but he did work in the regular season. 3 home runs in a regular game. I mean, he was the go-ahead run, Game 6, off an infield. I guess it would have been an out on Seager, but an infield, that was a go-ahead run, Game 6. He was electric. He was exciting to watch, and I'm proud to have him for another 12 years, and this is where his contract. That was just a preview, guys. What Mookie Betts did was just a preview, and that ceiling is high. Damn, that ceiling is high. So I'm expecting a lot more out of Mookie Betts. But even if he repeats what he did in 2020, David Price. I know you guys forgot about him, but David Price is going to be available, and having a whole year to recover and come back is completely different. So, damn. Just wanted to make sure that the audio was good over here. But David Price coming back, and I don't know how are we gonna have this starting rotation. Tony Gonsolin, is he gonna be an option to be traded? Nolan Arenado maybe. Dustin May. I mean, he did. Look, Tony Gonsolin wasn't even all that bad in the World Series in his game 5 start, because he only gave up 1 run, just didn't get the run support, but only 1 run to the Tampa Bay Rays. So I think he might be in the back end of the rotation. Dustin May, obviously, he throws heat. He knows how to shut down the Padres. He knows how to do, Dustin May's a real thing. He throws 100 mile per hour easily, and he's unfazed. When he's on that mound and the batter's taking his sweet time adjusting in and out of the box, standing, lining up, prepping the bat, doing all little shenanigans, he's just staring them down, unfazed, dead-faced. Strikes him out, and he'll run off that field and he'll yell out that F word. He don't care. Like, he's energy. So the starting rotation is obviously going to have Kershaw. I was going to have Buehler, David Price. Then you look at the back end of the rotation. You got Mitchell White, who's eventually going to have to be called up. You're going to have Dennis Santana. You're going to have all these other players that are in the farm system, plus Dustin May, plus Tony Gonsolin, and the hero of the World Series, Julio Urias. What do you do with him? Julio Urias has got to be in the starting rotation, right? But you look at the numbers, and he's better out of the pen. You see what he did out of the pen, Game 6. What do you do with him? Do you make him the long reliever? Do you make him the closer? Do you make him the middle of the rotation guy? What do you do? Because his first inning is not so nice. It's a good problem to have. You have a lot of pitchers, a lot of options, trade pieces. I mean, Urias, untouchable. Buehler, untouchable. May, untouchable. Gonsolin, he's walking that tightrope where he's untouchable, and he's a trade piece, valuable asset. Kershaw, obviously, miraculous, man. I don't know how he was able to do it. I did not expect this out of Kershaw, to have a postseason the way he did. Back spasms and all. Kershaw surprised the hell out of me. So, those are the 5. Realistically, those are the 5. Urias, May, Kershaw, Buehler, and Gonsolin. And then what do you do in the future, right? What do you do for the future? Then David Price comes in and makes it a little more tough. We have Kenley Jensen, who had a terrible 2020. Just terrible. Honestly, with this is just me personally. I'm happy the way the World Series turned out. It sucks that they lost Game 4. I'm with you guys on that. It sucks. But personally, I'm glad it happened the way it did, because I was on vacation. I was up north in Yosemite. And if they had won that game, that means game 5, I would have had to rush back down to LA so I could celebrate and be with everybody and all that. So just the way it happened, cool, whatever. It didn't phase me because I was outside. I was in a good place. Mentally, I was having fun. So the Dodgers losing didn't hit me like normally it would have. So the way it happened, cool. But Kenley Jensen, I don't know what we're going to do, but he can't be the closer no more. You got to pass that on to either Urias or start prepping Graterol, because Graterol has the ability and the potential to be the closer moving forward, but you could see that he still needs a little bit more work, a little more work in the mechanics, a little bit more work with his delivery. Give him another option, a pitching option, a better slider, better cutter. I mean, if Kenley teaches Graterol with a 100-mile-per-hour slider or cutter, just call it, bro. Just call it. Just end the game. Don't even let them. So David Sports Only, you believe Urias is a pen guy? That's an interesting one. I want to hear from a lot more people too. For me personally, I would love him in the starting rotation for Urias, but out of the pen, I wouldn't be so mad because obviously he's a shutdown type of guy. He knows what he's able to do, and elite. He's an elite pen guy. Elite. So I'm not even going to be 100% mad if he's coming out of the pen for Urias. Max Muncy had a terrible, disgusting regular season, but in a postseason, though, I think, I want to say game 4 or game 5 is when Max Muncy, the Atlanta Braves series, is when Max Muncy woke the Rays. So Max Muncy woke up towards the end, and he was pivotal to the Dodgers' success. So I'm not entirely mad on Max Muncy, but I am expecting him to have a bounce back year. From what I saw in 2019 and 2020, I expected more in 20. He woke up towards the end. So I'm expecting that to continue in 2021. The only thing is that he's not solid as a defender. He had a couple of blunders, a bad error. Like that game 4 loss, kind of, you could blame it on Taylor bobbling the ball in the outfield. You could blame it on Will Smith not handling the ball, not being able to catch the ball. You could blame Kenley for not backing up Will Smith, but then again, it wouldn't have mattered because the ball didn't go back. It went to the side. And then you could also blame Max Muncy because the ball was thrown to the opposite side of Will Smith. So defensively, Max Muncy's got to get better. Second baseman, first baseman, either way, he's got to get a lot better because he had a couple of blunders this year. So I'm expecting a bounce back here from him. Joe Kelly, what he did against the Astros, I'm not even going to talk no disrespect, nothing. What he did, what Joe Kelly said and did against the Astros, my respect for him. My respect. Here's the issue now. The catcher's position. Austin Barnes was pretty damn good. Pitchers actually performed better with Austin Barnes than with Will Smith. But Will Smith had that essentially the comeback against the Braves. That home run he hit, Will Smith versus Will Smith, that home run he hit against the other Will Smith, that's what began the tide for the Dodgers. So that's where the problem's going to be. Then you also got to realize that they got Keibert Ruiz, who came in, had a bomb, and, he didn't play again, but he has potential. Honestly, I think Ruiz and Gonsolin are going to be traded. But then again, I would prefer Austin Barnes because Austin Barnes worked with Mookie Betts and performed a lot better. Then you had Will Smith, who worked with the pitching staff and got a little bit better as time went on. Then he was clutch, and then So it's a good problem to have and not really worry about. If we keep both of them, I'm great with it. So it is what it is. Cody Bellinger. Yo, what are we going to do with Cody Bellinger? This boy has a potential to be an MVP. We saw it last year. This year, he went and just took a crap. Just fell asleep. Went on Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Kimmel finally asked the question that we've all been wondering. Does he smoke weed? He said he doesn't, but he knew what to do. He knew the symbol. He knew the symbol, smoking weed. But regardless, Um, he's gotta Cody Bellinger's gotta bounce back. He's gotta be better, man. If we get Corey Seager, who is also gonna be getting a big contract, he's estimated to get a $15 million contract from Sports Reference. $15 million contract. I think it's gonna be $20 million easy. Um, can you guys imagine Cody Bellinger MVP self, Corey Seager World Series MVP self, Mookie Betts being Mookie Betts, that three-headed monster? Can you guys imagine that lineup? Yeah. Okay, so cool. Gregory Johnson, thank you for that. So it is going to be confirmed that the DH is going to be kept for the National League, which is great. You could either substitute it with Will Smith when pitchers would rather go with Austin Barnes to catch him, or Justin Turner as a DH if he can't play the hot corner, or if we just hypothetically, if we trade for Nolan Arenado, or move Corey Seager to third, or DJ LeMahieu. Options. But the great thing is having the DH gives you the option to not worry about having to play Justin Turner all the time, risking an injury and burning his legs out, or having another option like Will Smith. Options. So the DH staying with and now is going to be a great thing to have, obviously. But going back to my thing, with what are we going to do with Cody Bellinger? We need Cody Bellinger back from 2019. We need that 2019 Cody Bellinger. He had some moments here and there in the postseason where it was like pimp job after pimp job, and he looked damn near good. But again, we need Cody Bellinger back to his 2019 self. Whatever he did, no. Go back to 2019. Go back to 2019. Caleb Ferguson, man, I had high expectations for this kid, man. Unfortunately, he went down with Tommy John, and man, he was doing work. Caleb Ferguson did work against the Astros. I remember him having emotions and being the guy, and I was looking forward to seeing him have a great 2020. I'm still expecting that out of him for 2021. I think he could bounce back. Maybe he'll make it towards the second half of the season, but I hope he bounces back. I hope he bounces back. He's one of the guys that I want back. Matt Beatty, gotta have Matt Beatty back. That's another option at the DH because he could also play the infield and the outfield. That's a great option to have. Edwin Rios. Edwin Rios needs more opportunities, man. There was a point where we had Jock Peterson, we had AJ Pollock, we had all these other players playing besides Edwin Rios, and we were just screaming at the top of our lungs, get Rios in there. Did Rios die? Where's Rios at? And he comes up, and again, Houston series, a Houston Astros series, pimp job. And yeah, so we need more of Edwin Rios. It's gonna be hard to get him in there, but yeah, Brusard Gratterall. Thank you again, Boston, for saying no. We appreciate it. I know he appreciates it, and that ring he's about to get, the legit ring he's gonna get, Boston. But Gratterall's got to start getting. He's got to get trained and start working as a closer. He's got to get that opportunity. Kenley, I hope he sticks around as a mentor, like Don Newcomb, Sandy Koufax, Tommy at one point. All these past Dodgers that would be around Eric Karros, Nomar Garciaparra, Steve Garvey, Ron Say, like all these players that are around, mentoring, guiding these new kids coming up and teaching them the way. I hope Kenley takes that responsibility with Broussard and helps them develop the closer position, teaches them how to be confident, how to have that attitude, and really like tenders him for the closer's position. So I'm hoping that does happen. Victor Gonzalez, man, I can't say enough great things about him. I can't. I knew he was gonna be great. Maybe I don't know. Maybe against the Rocky series. But it's crazy to think that at one point he had quit. He had said, I got injured. I can't. I don't think so. And it's even crazier to think that Urias was the guy that told him, stick around, stick with it. Stick with it. We're gonna win. Like Urias convinced his boy. to stick around for the title and do what he did. I mean, yo, this pen is filled with amazing pitchers. Victor Gonzalez, Urias, Gratterall as a few. And they haven't even reached 25 years old, 26 years old. They're not old. They're not in the mid-20s yet. And they got so much more to give. The thing that I love about Julio Urias is what he said once. God gave him a bad eye, but he gave him an amazing arm. These kids are another level. The disappointment for me, Gavin Lux. After seeing what the boy Verdugo did with Boston, Gavin Lux has got to have an AJ Pollock, which, again, thank you, AJ Pollock. My apologies for ever slandering your name. Gavin Lux has got to have a 3 times better performance than AJ Pollock. A bounce back super year in order for me to have respect for him and have like belief in him. Because he just looked lost at the plate, didn't understand the defensive metrics out on the field. He was just everywhere. So I don't know where his mind is. I don't know where his body is. I don't know what he's about. But I just know that I was disappointed, very, very disappointed in Gavin Lux. And he's got to have a super bounce back year in order for me to believe in him, trust in him, and be happy that he's a Dodger. But as of right now, I'm disappointed that the Dodgers gave up Alex Verdugo, who was already a stud, who was already a team leader, who was already vocal and wanted to win and presented all the characteristics of eventually being an all-star. So Gavin Lux, the pressure is on you, my boy. Gavin Lux. With that, I don't think the Dodgers need to make any big splashes. I know Trevor Bauer's out there. He's teasing everybody, and he just won the National League Cy Young Award. Congratulations to Trevor Bauer. Deservedly so. I don't think they need to trade for him, but looking at the starting rotation, I mean, you got 3 young guys who are not even in their mid-20s, Urias, May, and Buehler. Tony Gonsolin's 26. Then you have 2 that are reaching the end of their careers in Kershaw and David Price. So maybe having someone like Trevor Bauer already ready, but then again, you would have a righty-heavy starting rotation. So what do you do for left-handed? You would only have essentially Julio Urias as a starting rotation moving forward as a left-handed pitcher. So that's where the problem becomes. Do you really need Trevor Bauer? Do you want him? Absolutely. Do you need him? Interesting. That's where the question lies. Because if you add him, who do you move out? Dustin May, Gonsolin most likely. But then what do you do about the left-handers 2 years from now when we don't have Kershaw or David Price? But that's a problem for, the future. The one thing that I'm going to keep repeating for the Dodgers before I move on to the Lakers. We have been labeled, obviously, the haters hate us. The haters hate us as villains. We have been labeled the villain, regardless of what happens to us, cheating, disrespect, unfair treatment, whatever the case may be. I've been voicing it and stressing we need to run with the villain role. LeBron James did it. They hate the Lakers. He knew it. He came with that attitude. Anthony Davis came in with that attitude. Rajon Rondo came with that attitude. They tried it against him. You remember the Damian Lillard and even the barking from Westbrook, who wants out of Houston, and then the shimmy from Murray, or the mean mug from Tyler Hero. You remember all that disrespect? And then this man looks at him, nods his head, and goes, "You guys want a villain? All right. I've been there before. I've been the villain before." I think that's what the Dodgers need to do. And someone they need to really consider maybe bringing back if Jock Peterson is going to end up leaving or not be part of the team next year because he's gonna be a free agent. Kike Hernandez as well. I think we should bring back. Look, Jock Peterson is a postseason guy. You know what he does in the postseason. It's hard for me to say don't bring him back because in the regular season he's just straight up garbage. But in the postseason, he becomes Jackie Robinson. He becomes Babe Ruth. He becomes an elite player. So it's hard for me to say don't bring back Jock that easy. Kike Hernandez, he could have his moments too. He had a moment this postseason. And he's a locker room guy as well. So it's hard for me to say just like that, nah, let him go. Let him walk. Nah. If I, team friendly, if bring him back for sure. Team friendly. But if they're asking for some superstar elite number price tag, sorry guys. With that, I definitely think, and I saw a video of this guy working out today, Yasiel Puig. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people don't want him. But I think we should definitely consider bringing back Yasiel Puig. Look, I know he's a hothead. I know what he does, but at the same time, I think the no team wanted him this year. So I think that might have opened his eyes to realize that he needed to change. And this is just me speculating. I think if Yasiel Puig saw that teams aren't messing with him, aren't running with him, the problem isn't essentially his work performance on the field. It's his personality, his character. He's a hothead. He wanted to fight the entire Pittsburgh team while he was with Cincinnati. We all backed him up when he wanted to fight Bumgarner and the entire Giants team. When he wanted to fight the Astros and he talked about them, we all backed him up. You know what he does in the postseason. So, I think we should bring back Yasiel Puig and run with the villain role for the Dodgers. They already hate us. They already talk shit about us. So might as well run with that villain role and really do it. And if we bring Trevor Bauer, you already know Manfred don't like him. Run with it even more. And winning more of these is gonna really, really get people to hate us. The Yankees are, come on, they used to buy their championships, legit buy their championships. The Astros stole rings and stole everything from people. Don't be surprised if another article comes up next year or later on this year proving that they were cheating still. Don't be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised at all. 2 days from now is when the article with Ken Rosenthal and Dietrich came out last year. So don't be surprised because all of a sudden in 2020 postseason, they started being like unstrike. Like they couldn't strike out. They were able to see the ball better. Come on. Get out of here with that trash. Anyways, I think we should bring back Yasiel Puig. Because if we do Jock Peterson and Kike Hernandez, that outfield's going to have essentially A.J. Pollock, Cody Bellinger, and Mookie Betts. Edwin Rios might be able to play the infield, and we could, make adjustments here and there. Matt Beattie, Chris Taylor. There's going to be some room for adjustments, but at the same time, Yasiel Puig might be different. And I'm willing to bet on it. Maybe give him a 1-year contract, see if it works out. I would be kind of interested. I've been willing for it. So that's one player that I'm definitely interested in bringing back, Yasiel Puig, and seeing what he can do with this new look Dodgers team. If it works out, great. If not, great. We learn our lesson and we close that chapter on Yasiel Puig. But give him an opportunity. There's a lot of players out there that deserve. Andre Ethier deserves a ring, man. He was part of that 2017 team. He deserves a ring. I would go as far as, Adrian Gonzalez was also on that team. He went down and was the reason why Cody Bellinger was called up. Let's not forget this. So there's a lot of players that are no longer playing baseball, are retired, or in other teams, Yu Darvish, that deserve a ring. So it is what it is. Let's move on with the Lakers, though. The other champions, the City of Champions. We're talking about the City of Champions. So, you guys have already heard this rumor. DeMar DeRozan wants, or actually the Lakers are interested in trading for DeMar DeRozan. The options for the Lakers, the trade pieces to make the contract work, are Danny Green and Kyle Kuzma. My only issue with DeMar DeRozan is the fact that he disappears in the playoffs. I'm not gonna be too negative about him because they traded, the Raptors traded Kawhi for DeRozan. They essentially just switched players. The Spurs sucked. The Raptors won the title. But the Raptors won that title on a broken Golden State Warriors team. You look at the Raptors this year, that's when I could say, okay, the Raptors are good. The Raptors were a real threat. With DeMar, without DeMar, the Raptors were a good team. They made it to semis, and it is what it is, but they made noise. They made some noise. So if the Lakers do end up landing DeMar DeRozan, I wouldn't be 100% mad. But those are two players you got to replace. And Kyle Kuzma in the bubble was pretty good. No distractions. He was very focused. And he was able to make some noise here and there. Yeah, he had some blunders. But essentially, yeah, again, the Lakers invested everything to get Anthony Davis. But they kept Kyle Kuzma in the belief that he was the future. It hasn't worked out. And I fell for that as well because I saw Kyle Kuzma talking with Vince Carter, meeting with Kobe Bryant, talking to Shaq, talking to Kareem, asking questions to the vets his first year. So I was under the belief that this kid is learning. He's asking the questions so he could develop and become a great elite player. And, distractions happen. He's more into IG. He's more into becoming a model. And, yeah. So that's why I lost a little bit of hope on him. Danny Green, look, yeah, he messed up. He messed up that game-winning shot. But he was a third best net rating player for the Lakers in the playoffs. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. We all know he can shoot the three when he... Actually, no. He done messed up. So, again, it wouldn't be such a bad thing if we trade for DeRozan. But that's two players we got to replace. And his contract, it's going to eat it up. Ronald Norwood asked, does Cousins get a ring with the Lakers? Well, he didn't play with the Lakers. He didn't play a minute with the Lakers, so I don't think he gets a ring. I just don't think he does. He was part of the team. He had a contract with the team, but he didn't play with the team. So I don't think he does. Unfortunately for him. I do hope team-friendly contract he comes back because healthy DeMarcus Cousins, a healthy Boogie that Sacramento Kings and a little bit of the New Orleans Pelicans before his injuries, he was a monster. He can work with Anthony Davis. It worked out with New Orleans. It was working. DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis were a threat when they played together in New Orleans. But all these injuries, man, it takes a toll. And they were serious injuries, Achilles, hamstring, like injuries. These are real injuries that'll end careers. So it's kind of hard. So that's why it's got to be a team-friendly deal. For DeMarcus Cousins, the door isn't closed for me and with me. But I do hope that he does come back because he does have that potential and the ability to have a bounce back year. But I'm hearing that he's not going to be ready by opening day, December. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Rondo, he's being chased by the Clippers. He's the Jock Peterson of the Lakers. Sucks in the regular season. But in the postseason, playoff Rondo, he's an elite player. He becomes Jordan, Kareem, Magic, LeBron, Kobe. He becomes an elite player. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. After all this is said and done, what he did in this postseason, Rondo is a Hall of Famer. Two-time champion, multi-time All-Star. Did what he did with the Boston Celtics, what he did with the New Orleans Pelicans, where they upset the Portland Trail Blazers, and did what he did with the Lakers, where they did everybody dirty. So Rondo is going to be a Hall of Famer, and I do hope the Lakers do bring him back. And, yeah, run it back. Run it back with Rondo. It worked out with him and LeBron. Like, it just looked like chemistry was building up, and it worked out. It worked out. Um, Avery Bradley, another player that I don't know if I want him back or not because he's going to be looking for a bigger contract. So he just opted out of his contract deal with his current agent, with previous agent. He got a new agent, and I think they're going to opt out of his $5 million contract for a bigger payday. That $5 million can go somewhere else, obviously. Another player that's going to be a free agent or whatever, or just save it up. Either way, the free agency class is still pretty decent, but it is what it is. The Lakers are connected to Westbrook because now Westbrook is unhappy with the situation in Houston. I think it's time to start looking at James Harden as a problem. It shouldn't even be a question. It should be like an automatic. Dwight Howard left. He left the Lakers. Dwight Howard left the Lakers the first time to go play in Houston with James Harden. And honestly, I thought it was going to be the next best duo. Didn't work out. He dipped. Then they got CP3 on a signing trade. The videos we've seen where he's trying to dab him up, James Harden slaps his hand out of the way. Then he gets traded to OKC and he flourishes. He has a great 2019-2020 season where he puts him into the postseason. That close. Houston getting defeated by Oklahoma. They took him to Game 7. CP3. And now you have Westbrook who's demanding a trade. Westbrook wasn't a problem in OKC. It was Durant. He goes ring chases, and Westbrook stays behind and does his thing, has an MVP year, triple-double career, and goes to Houston, and all of a sudden his performance lacks. So James Harden is a problem. As far as getting traded to the Lakers, no. Ball hog for one, hothead for two. Even though I think he might have a relationship, like a good standing relationship with with LeBron James, I don't think the games match up. I don't think they would mesh. Westbrook is rumored to be going to Charlotte or wanting to go to Charlotte, and Charlotte being interested. But Westbrook is a player that needs his own team of good players. Real good players. Like what he had in OKC was perfect. Steven Adams and some of those other players that he had on there, perfect. It was great. He needs a team like that. No other superstar, just top tier, really good players where he can make them better. And that's what the type of team he needs. I don't think him and Anthony Davis would. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. So X on the Westbrook trade. Nah. DeMar DeRozan is still up for debate. I'll look at the numbers and all that next video. I'll discuss it. Or I'll probably make a video on it and discuss the differences and if it'll make a good fit with DeMar with the Lakers. So it's not entirely thrown out. CP3 has supposedly by Stephen A. Smith come out and said that he doesn't want to play with the Lakers and he doesn't want to come back to the Clippers. He's looking at his own team as well, staying with OKC, and the Knicks are supposedly interested. I mean, the Knicks they gotta sell that team. Dolan, man, you gotta get out of there. But the Lakers, though, there's a lot of players they gotta focus on, and it's gonna be interesting this free agency, which starts, I believe, next week. So next week, it's going to be wild. Oh, my God. It's going to be so wild. And then the MLB season's going to be already talked about. We're going to see who the Dodgers pick up, or they don't pick up, who they trade for, all that stuff. It's going to get wild as well. So December is going to be interesting. 2021 season is going to be real. The Dodgers, man, you know what? I'm just going to make a video on this because the Dodgers, I have a sneaky suspicion about something that I just don't have enough time to talk about it here. So I want to make a video on it. So expect that later on. So with that, I'm going to end it on a good note. Make sure you guys go Dodger Lowdown and follow your boy. We are going to blow it up. It's going to be fun, bro. It's going to be so fun. Enjoy it. Look, and this is the first time I'm stress-free. I'm stress-free because right now the Lakers would have been playing, winning or losing, whatever the case. It would have been the transition. Like the Dodgers right now would have either been eliminated or won the World Series regular season. I'm talking about 2019 and before. They would have lost the World Series or the postseason. I would have been pissed and stressed out going into the Lakers starting the season, so it would have been no break. Plus, you got the Rams, you got the NFL season going on, and you got so many things going on. This is the first time, November, where I legit don't have to think about any sport, don't have to stress about a schedule. Just, I only got to worry about Sundays with the Rams. That's it. Oh, and USC on Saturday, who, man, fight on. Oh my, I was watching that game the entirety up until the fourth quarter when somebody fumbled. USC fumbled and Arizona recovered, and I was just like, it's over. They're down by 14. They need 2 touchdowns to win, and there's like 6 minutes left. I'm done. I'm gonna go back to work. So I went back to work, came back, and somebody texted me, hey, USC won. My homie Alex, shout out Alex. He told me, hey, how the hell did USC win that game? I'm like, what? I went to the highlights, and oh my God, what a comeback. What a comeback. Slovis, my guy. They got a big tight end. They got some players. I'm on Raw. Boy, they got some players on that. Then you got USC basketball coming up. They got some elite players on that are sleepers. There's no respect for USC basketball, but they're going to make some noise. So with that, make sure you guys catch up with USC Sports, your boy LAJ. I'll make sure to keep you guys updated with everything that's going on. Make sure you guys follow Dodger Lowdown for all the Dodgers news, rumors, and all that stuff. See some videos later on, and I'll catch you guys next week. With that being said, I'll see you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys.